Yeah, I'm Luke, and this is Steve Arnold, and we're at Learning Energize Connect. It's 2014. It's an event that's been hosted by Texas Instruments, and what it basically does is it provides teachers around Victoria, and we've got guests from all over the world really at this event. Lots of workshops going on, teachers learning how to use technology to better engage students. Yeah. And I'm with Steve right now, and I was just finding out a little bit about why Steve's here. And so Steve, you work for Texas Instruments?
I do now.
Yeah.
I come from a classroom teacher background. I was a teacher for 30 years at schools and universities, trained teachers, and for the last 8 years I've been working with Texas Instruments on their product development. So developing the TI Inspire platform, which is underpinning all of this.
You mentioned the iPad. So
yes.
you've been working on the app as well. So
that's right.
Yeah.
The last couple of years we've extended our platform to go as well as handheld calculators and desktop software to the iPad. So we have an iPad app, and that opens all sorts of new doors for kids to better understand and interact with their mathematics and to learn better.
What are some of the advantages do you think that the app offers in terms of connecting the kids, with I guess, I've noticed things like the cloud technology. It
That's
interacts
right.
with that.
That's right. But right at a base level, there's something really wonderful about the iPad and the way that you interact with it. And for kids to touch the mathematics in that way is a whole different experience. And our app supports that, so they can grab graphs, move them around, they can rearrange them, but they can do all sorts of other interactions too, and it just raises it to a whole new level. So the kids can touch and feel the mathematics that they're learning.
And I'm interested in your journey. You said you've been with TI for 8 years. Maths teacher before that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did you make that transition from in the classroom to sort of creating these sort of innovative products with TI?
I've always been interested in technology and the ways that it can help kids to learn better. Right back to almost, the first few years I was teaching were the years that computers started to become available. So I've always tinkered and played with the latest technology to see how it can benefit my students. So as well as using it in the classroom, I actually went off and did some study and some research, and ended up teaching teachers about using technology. So that gave me the springboard to then move over and help in developing a new type of technology that would be even better for the classroom.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it, isn't it? How do we provide opportunities for our teachers to get skilled up to use this technology? Because my fear is that we can just use technology to be a substitute, but it really has the ability to redefine the way we educate.
It does.
How do you see that redefinition, happening? As a result of the influence that technology can play.
It's a huge question,
It is a
Luke.
big one.
It redefines everything from the ground up. A great thinker in this field once said that good technology turns learning on its head, and things that we used to keep until the kids were much older become accessible in a real way when they're much younger. So they can interact with rates of change, with motion, with real world mathematics using technology as early as middle school years in primary and lower secondary. And it's not just it's interacting in a real way that they can then help their learning to be deeper and more grounded as they move into the senior years and learn the theoretical basis for it.
So one of the things I've noticed is that with those handhelds that we use, strong engagement through 10, 11 and 12. Would you say that with the iPad, bringing it in at a younger age level promotes stronger engagement using the iPad at, say, 7, 8, 9, 10, that kind of thing?
The iPad is working its magic across all subject areas, and mathematics, science, technology is probably enhanced more than most. So It does. It just brings a whole new way for the kids to engage with their learning and to learn more deeply. But they don't. It doesn't happen by itself. It doesn't happen by accident. So the teachers need to be up to speed with what's going on.
Yeah, that seems to be the greatest challenge, doesn't it? You know, and I was talking about this in the opening that I guess there's a huge focus on accountability. But if that accountability is at the expense of innovation, then that's got to be a concern for all of us, hasn't it?
That's right. They've got to work together.
They've got to work together. So we're needing leaders that really back and invest in innovation.
Yes.
I mean, it's great that TI will provide an opportunity today where it's a free workshop.
Yeah.
What other ways do you think we might be able to promote those sort of opportunities and showcase innovation in a way where we get better buy-in from the education sector?
Well, we were talking before about industry support. I think that's got huge potential. I mean, TI is an example of it's heavily invested in education, but lots of industrial and business sponsors are there who want to be part of this process. And to find applications. I mean, that's at the heart of it, is to find real-world applications that you can bring into the classroom, and the kids can see that what they're learning actually is not just in this little box. It touches the real world.
Yeah, and I think that's my experience as well, that industry is saying, we want learning to be more multi-dimensional. That it's not just about acquiring knowledge. It's about how you process that knowledge, how you apply that knowledge.
What you do with it.
And real-world applications. Can you think of how that technology has enhanced just some of those practical applications in it's probably science more specifically, or math? Are there some examples in maths where you can think where we've been able to do that a lot better than we were able to?
That's right.
Yeah.
There's things in mathematics teaching that we could not do without the technology. It makes certain things possible. It makes other things amazing, but it does. It opens all sorts of doors, but science too. But part of it too is the merging of the different subject areas, and worldwide, the what we call STEM,
yes,
and even STEAM now, which includes the arts as well, is crossing boundaries, and technology is the glue that brings them together. So we're seeing wonderful applications, and stuff I'm working on at the moment is with Bluetooth devices controlled from the iPad app. So we can read data, we can have a weather station that the kids can monitor, we can do exercise, and the kids can monitor heart rate and things like that.
Through Bluetooth?
Through Bluetooth.
Yeah.
It's wireless. And then take that data and work with it, make sense of it. So you bring it back to the mathematics. It's great fun.
Yeah, no, it does sound like it, and I guess that's what does really promote that sense of strong engagement. And that more students can be on board with what's going on around the world. With them through the technology.
Yeah, and so they're at the cutting edge. They're at where it's happening right now. So BLE, this Bluetooth Low Energy, has only been around for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And already it's now reaching classrooms through this technology.
So just help me understand that a little bit more. Like say with the weather station, and you're using the Bluetooth. What specific application are you talking about there that the kids would?
Well, there's a range of. Science for many years has used probes and sensors to collect real world data. The new range of these are Bluetooth enabled, which means no wires, free to move inside, outside.
This is acting as a probe rather than... Yeah.
On the other side, so that's reading information from the sensors. It's also, I've seen it used to control remote robot cars. One guy I saw had a helium balloon with a little fan blowing on it, and he was controlling the balloon's motion around the room from the iPad app, pushing the buttons and moving it around. So you've got that control element too. So this two-way thing of reading information from the real world and then interacting with the real world, making things happen in the real world.
Some of the students that we've got here today have been involved in robotics and building a robot and programming that robot. But that's taking it to the next level where we can get using this iOS technology to then control that robot.
That's right.
Fantastic. Yeah. It's amazing. The sky's the limit, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. It's an exciting time to be in education, isn't it?
It's a great time to be a teacher. Yes.
And so I guess it comes back to back to the point we were making before. How do we showcase, to our leaders, that we must place more value on it? It seems like you talked about the arts in STEAM. There's a sense of, well, we need more creativity back in the space.
Yes.
And I think, when we went to school, maths wasn't seen as a subject you can be creative in.
It was the opposite of it. It really was.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned over many years of teaching is that you've got to get the kids engaged. You've got to get them involved and thinking for themselves rather than just learning rote loads of material.
Yeah. So it's like I say, that creativity is something that's been certainly an interesting journey for me to see that you can be creative with maths.
Well, too many maths teachers are out there who go in trying to teach the way they were taught. And that was just from the book.
Yeah, and that was another point I was making. We often hear colleagues make the excuse, "I've just got to teach skills."
Yes.
And how boring's that, eh?
That's right.
When you can actually see the kids saying, "Well, we need these skills because it's driven by their sense of wanting to be really creative in this space."
Yes.
And they go, "Oh, that's why I need that skill,"
I need those.
as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's an amazing place to be right now.
Yeah.